But all of that will never give you the habit to respect people. Learn how to live in a community. Learn how to respect people's opinion. It is very important. With that, we can make this world a better place for you and my humble self. That's it this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to invite Annie Azui to do for us Oublie mon passé. Let me forget my past and forge ahead as we get to the dawn of a new week this morning.
Depuis le temps que l'on s'est connu, tu n'arrêtes pas de me perturber en me rappelant tout le temps mon passé. J'ai eu une vie avant toi, tu ne pourrais pas l'effacer. Nous n'y pourrons rien changer, oh tu me laisses tomber. Je veux que tu oublies, oublie, oublie mon passé. Allez, go! Pas oublier que tu oubliais, oublie. Pourquoi ne pas oublier, oublie le passé est glacé. Pourquoi ne pas oublier que tu oubliais, oublie. C'est tout le temps la même chanson. Si tu veux vraiment me garder, n'écoute plus les on-dit. Et pourtant je veux que tu oublies, oublies. Oh, je veux que tu oublies, oublie mon passé. Pourquoi ne pas oublier
Mon Passe. Very beautiful music there from Annie Azwe. And of course, that's how we roll here. Perhaps you are just joining us this morning. You are live on your morning breakfast show, Home Morning. And of course, we come to you live from Mondays to Fridays between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. And this morning, we are on April 7. Permit me to say happy birthday to those who are born on April day. It's always with special grace that you got to celebrate each year a new feather added into your cap. While others were hoping to clock a new year, they journeyed to the world beyond, never to return again. So if you are lucky enough to clock +1, it's important to celebrate. Celebrating does not mean throwing a big party somewhere. You can celebrate by going down on your knees and say, Jehovah, thank you very much for adding me plus a year. Or you go down on your knees and say, ancestors, right? To Africans, those who believe so much about the ancestral roots, they are still very much alive. It's important for us never to forget where we are coming from. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we are going over to our next lot, which happens to be a health secret. And of course, this morning, Dr. Fru Richard, I want to be elucidating about obesity. Obesity remains, it's true, many persons do not talk about it that very much because many are getting awakened. They are gaining plenty of knowledge about how to stay safe from contracting obesity. But then, how can we just need to continue reminding ourselves each passing day on how we need to do, what we need to eat, how to eat, so that we should not contract obesity. Hello, Doc. Good morning and welcome.
You are welcome once more to the program Health Secret. Today, I will be explaining or expatiating on issues that will create some awareness to help us realize why man is sick each day and looking for doctors, looking for healers, moving from one place to another with deplorable health situations. Why is it that man is always sick? Man, notwithstanding his knowledge, man has a well-developed brain, he has a mind, he has a spirit, it's controlled by the Spirit of God, but he's always sick. Sick, in need of doctors, in need of pastors, in need of prophets each day. But the animals in the wild, they don't know how to pray. They just eat anyhow. They don't even wash their food. They eat with dirty hands. They don't brush their mouth, their teeth. They sleep under very bad or harsh conditions, beaten by mosquitoes, insects. They wound themselves. They eat dirty food, infected food with bacteria, fungi, parasites, viruses, toxins. But they don't have doctors. They are always healthy. They are always fresh. They are always strong. But man, on the contrary, notwithstanding his well-developed brain, man is educated. Until we answer the question why, then the health of man will continue to decay with time. What do I mean by decaying with time? Those who have studied geography, if they say something decays with time, you hear of half-life. I mean, with time, the health of man will be deteriorating. The lifespan of man will be reducing with time until become a time that if man manages to reach 10 years or clock 10 years, it means he has tried. Man is sick because man is breaking the rules kept in place by his creator, the Almighty God, that will guide him. In a nutshell, most of our health problems are coming because of dietary divergence. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. You are once more welcome to Health Secret. I'm your African doctor, African medicine man who deals with medicine. The one you know is healer, Dr. Richard Fru of the Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa, with acronym GENUA. In this program, I will be talking on obesity, overweight, overfat, obesity. Mommy them, let me speak a bit in broken language. Mommy them, papa them, picking them, makombi them. If you do over fat, now two things be involved. Either you inherit them or you put and use yourself. But most of the time now the second one be involved, more involved. You put and use yourself. Now very few them it be a family property where they inherit. What am I saying? I'm saying that with obesity, two factors are always involved. Either inherited or acquired. Or acquired means the one you yourself went around and caused it to come. Poor due to your poor lifestyle. What causes obesity? The one that you inherited the troubles and the bad lifestyles of your parents. You know what the white man or the orthodox system call genetica? We always call them family errors inherited. Because what the wrong lifestyle that your parents lived that brought disease into their life, it is that wrong lifestyle that you grew in it that will bring that same disease into your life. If they were eating too much of something that affected them, they were also feeding you that too much of something that will infect you. It will change your gene. In my previous program, I said it is what you eat that your body also used to build you, even build your genes. So your poor lifestyle of your parents, they transfer to you, and you grow and start suffering the same diseases. Unless you are lucky enough not to cross that threshold break or that breakage level that the disease enter you, then you are lucky. So notwithstanding, when you are suffering from obesity, it means that you have poor metabolism. I'll tell us about metabolism. And for somebody to claim that it will cure you to solve that problem of overweight, it must be somebody who master metabolism, who master why people have overweight. Not somebody who just say, hey, I have medicine that will cut down your weight. Cut away the house. Where you cut the person will still put down. Have you solved the problem of metabolism? The problem of metabolism means something impair your system. Impair your system. You cannot metabolize what you consume well. You cannot burn it to release the energy to use it rightly. You cannot spread that energy to use properly. So what you metabolize is being stored. It's just like you're putting fuel in a car. The car cannot burn it well. Or burn it poorly. A lot of carbon monoxide stored. Things stored. The fuel is accumulated. Keep adding fuel. Accumulate. But you're not burning well. Keep adding oil. Oil not burning. Everything is just being accumulated. It's not being burnt. If it was a human being, start exploding. But people have good metabolism. They can eat and eat even a cow a day, they'll be tiny. When you see people eat and eat, they don't grow fat. Weight all tell us around metabolism. When you see, there are some people who can eat even a cow in a day, but they will not grow fat. They will eat and eat, but they will not grow fat. Why? Because they have a very good metabolism, very high metabolism. All what they eat is being broken down and metabolized. What is not necessary is not needed is excreted out, either through sweat or through urine or through excreta. It's sent out. Even though such people, if they continue eating poorly, somewhere along the line, the metabolic system will be stressed to a breakdown, a breakage level that will start functioning poorly and they will start putting on weight now. That's when they start suffering and then they start giving birth to children and passing that trouble to them. That's where it comes from. So you should not say, since I'm eating, I've followed the lecture, I'm eating, I'm not growing fast, I don't eat anyhow. You can stress that your good system to a certain level, you break it down, and then the metabolic, your good metabolic system break down, and you start metabolizing your food poorly, and you start putting on weight, start storing and storing because you can no longer break them down well. So you have to be very careful. If you have that good system, thank God, and you live, follow the education we give, you eat rightly, eat the right things, avoid all the bad food, bad stuff, eat natural food, traditional meals and eat according to your job. Then with those with poor metabolism, yes, those are the ones I'm more concerned with. Obesity. May already have a poor metabolism, a failing metabolic system. It means they cannot metabolize your food well. The food you consume is poorly digested. Even the one you absorb is poorly assimilated or poorly combusted. Then even poorly stored. You find fat just spread, deposited different angles. Some people, their fat is very poor. You see meat, flesh hanging here, hanging here. Some their fat is good because it's evenly distributed. The fat is evenly distributed. Whatever you have, as long as you have overweight, you want to solve the problem. The first medicine, if you want to be healed, is fasting. Do the opposite of what brought this problem into your life. Any treat, watch out with all the things you buy around, drinking that are cutting weight. They are cutting weight and cutting your life. They will bring you weight, but they'll shorten your life. If you are supposed to live for 90 years, maybe you'll live for 60. If you are supposed to live for 80 years, maybe you'll live for 50. They will even bring other disease in future that you will not know that is what you took to cut down weight. So you have to make sure, you have to be careful with what you just hurry rush around to get to cut weight. You have to get from institutions that master with the work of conscience to preserve human life. They think about the future before giving something to a patient or to somebody or to a client. You have to get the medicines that work on your metabolism. If you come to Geneva, our medicines that we give for slimming or to cut tummy, because I have medicine that cut only tummy, like the flat tummy. The flat tummy cut only tummy. He has special plan that nature, the great universe, the almighty, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient or omniscience force of the universe that knows and already designed those plans that their work is only for the stomach to burn fat there. Thanks to the great inspiration we got, we're able to identify the plan to produce what flatten only tummy. Yes, you can. The product is called flat tummy or waist shrink. Then we have that. It's a general healer that cuts down total weight called Geneva Slimmer, Geneva Slimmer or Slimming Tea. It has two names: Geneva Slimmer or Slimming Tea. That one cuts all weight. So somebody wants to cut all weight is Geneva Slimmer. You want to cut only tummy? Is Geneva is a flat tummy. Or you want cut tummy and you want to cut weight completely. One fast treatment, you take the two. Even though that people say they take only bitter tea and it cuts everything, flatten them. So for obesity, you must go in, and these products, when you go on our products, they don't only cut weight. You read that they cure so many things: your heart, your liver, your kidney. They remove bacteria, fungi, parasite, toxins in your system. Even those things are your weight. If you know the composition of your stool, the quantity of bacteria is there. Majority of what in your stool is bacteria. It's only the weight that they create in your system. If you remove all germ in your system, all the bad bacteria, all the pathogens, you take their weight, you will not believe. You remove all the poison, all the toxic liquids in your system, they take their weight, you don't believe. So many people are overweight because toxins accumulate in the system. That's why at times when they sleep, to get all cramps, numbness, because the system is toxic, poison your nerves. You need to detox. Not just medicine to go and drink to push your stomach. Detox. So you need professional medicines that will detox you. Detox. They remove all morbid, stored evils in your system. Toxic waste in your system. Cleanse you, purify you, and then work on the organ that have been impaired to function poorly. Metabolic organ that have been impaired by poor lifestyle to start functioning poorly. When all the organs are offloaded, your liver offloaded, your kidney offloaded, your brain, your cells offloaded, all the blood system, the fluid, the lymphatic system offloaded, freed, then accompanied, facilitated by fasting. Wow, a miracle takes place, healing takes place. You even find all other diseases in your body disappearing. That is how they go about to cut down weight, not just taking stuff that you want to cut weight. So I'm advising all those who are suffering from overweight, obesity. If you want to have one of the best treatment to cut weight that takes care of your future living, your future life, You take care of your organ, your body. It does not only cut away by healing you, remove all the morbid, the toxin, the bacteria, the germ, and everything, even in your body that even contribute to the weight. You come to Geneva and get these products. Most of those products are even over-the-counter products. Information is on the packet and even placed on a lifestyle from morning to afternoon how to eat while taking these products. But I advise you to always accompany it with fasting on these products. God bless you.
Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa, Geneva, our headquarters, Boya, Wonyamavio, Mile 18, Munya Road. Contact 674-286-493. Kumba, beside CPDM Hall, Kumba Town. Contact 674-288-671. Douala, besides Tropicana Ancien Route Beseke Bonaberry. Contact 674-289-523 or 695-936-243. Yaoundé, Biamasilak, from former Texaco, MRS, former Shell Simeon. Contact 674-289-112 or 657-018-758. Bamenda, Jumabo Mankan, Bamenda again, behind Total Commercial Avenue. Contact 677-319-866. Limbe, Carr Street, Newtown. Contact 674-288-957. Bafoussam, behind Légion de Gendarmerie. Contact 680-219-145 or 697-921-385. For consultations only, contact his healer, Dr. Richard Fro at 677-628-980 or 699-958-893.
Home morning. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On Home Morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like Reflection, Health, Discovery, Talking Points, Press Review, Pigeon News, our guest of the day, Sports, Culture, and Public Opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the dawn of a new day with renewed energy. Many thanks to you, Dr. Richard Froome, for that insight as far as obesity is concerned. Like you heard rightly from him, it is either hereditary or we are the ones who provoke it or provoke its developments. Now, watch out what you eat, what time you eat. You cannot go for an occasion, you are mixing salad, water for an arrow, you are taking a bit of corn chaff, a bit of koki, a bit of jollof rice, and you expect that your stomach should be comfortable. Have pity on yourselves. At times, watch out what to eat. You cannot go back home at 2 a.m. and you start eating water for an arrow, or you're eating corn chaff, or you're eating beans and rice. Just get a glass of milk and go to bed. So it's important for us to know what to eat so that we should not develop obesity, for it is not going to be good. It's not going to be an easy task. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving over to our next slot, which of course it is our press review. On our press review slot this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin with the lone daily bilingual newspaper, Cameroon Tribune this morning, which of course is talking about the recent visit of the Minister Delegate, the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Betta Sumo, to the Fantu region of the country, following attack orchestrated by Boko Haram on military forces. He visited some military officials who are still at the hospital receiving treatment, and you get an example of his message, a comfort message to the military officers. Aside that, you can equally get another key stories like keys, government of communication, keys to efficiency, the putting in place of a virtual information agency, extending the connectivity of CRTV signals to all parts of the country, and collaboration with other ministries are some of the strategies presented by Communication Minister and Government Spokesperson Rene Manuel Sardin to parliamentarians last Friday. This was during the question and answer session at the National Assembly. You can get details of that on page 6 and 7 in today's edition of Cameroon Tribune. Still in Cameroon Tribune, labor intensive works, FCFA, 2.6 billion francs for 8 councils. And of course, the paper says that Economy, Planning and Regional Development Minister Alami Osman Mem last Friday, April 4, 2025, signed a partnership agreement with beneficiary councils from across the country. The concerned projects that aim at stepping up socio-economic development could generate over 1,700 jobs in Cameroon. You can get details of that on page 13 in today's edition of Cameroon Tribune about just how this project signed by Minister Alami Osman met with some 8 councils. What are the 8 councils? You can get details of that in today's edition of Cameroon Tribune. We leave Cameroon Tribune to cross over to her sister site, that is Cameroon Insider. Cameroon Insider this morning captures on fresh vaccination campaign to tame polio resurgence. And the paper is talking about a campaign that will be launched in the days ahead by the Minister of Public Health as far as polio is concerned in Cameroon. And you can equally get court ruling on femicide case sparks public outcry in today's edition of Cameroon Insider. The Wuri High Court in the Littoral region on April 1 handed down a 5-year suspended sentence and a 52,000 francs fine on Eric Bekobe for his role in the killing of his wife, Diane Yango. The killing sparked nationwide uproar. The verdict has been widely considered lenient across the land and even beyond. You can get details of that on page 6 in today's edition of Cameroon Insider. Still inside Cameroon Insider this morning, you can get another interesting story like government outlines plan to streamline offline communication. This was during the question and answer session that took place last Friday by the Minister of Communication, Rene Manuel Sadim, on what has been done so far in terms of communication in Cameroon and what will be done in the months ahead in Cameroon. Another interesting story you can get on Cameroon Insider today is Janam's boasts a network of forgers in Yaoundé. A crackdown took place in Yaoundé whereby Janam's cracked down on some illegal fraudsters. And of course, we want to get an into of it. Grab a couple to this edition of Cameroon Insider. Still inside Cameroon Insider, under 17 AFCON, end of the road for Teen Lions. Yesterday, lost to their Egyptian counterpart. The Lions Raw fell silent as they crushed out of the tournament with a disappointing 2-1 defeat in the hands of Egypt. Just 10 teams from Africa were supposed to qualify for the under 17 FIFA World Cup. And of course, Cameroon, out of 16 teams that participated at the AFCON, ongoing in Morocco, Cameroon has been flushed out from the competition. And of course, many are questioning how truthful, how sincere is our domestic football in Cameroon, particularly from the grassroots base. We leave Cameroon Insider this morning to go over to the next newspaper, which of course we have on our tablet this morning, that is the Horizon. The Horizon this morning says that to avert short-term and high-interest loans, Cameroon embraces GGBI. You want to understand that Treasury DG, that is Treasury Director General Mo Sylvester, sitting in for Minfi boss at launch of the Global Green Bond Initiative last Friday in Yaoundé, says it's another development opportunity for Cameroon. Now, how will this bond, how will this new initiative help Cameroon's economy? Another interesting story like European Parliament orders immediate and unconditional release of Bamoke Njoka, Mancho BBC, Thomas Howard Jr., Nsi Conrad. These are journalists who have been detained for more than 5 years today. And of course, the European Union is pressing for their immediate and unconditional release from the Kondege prison. If you can get interesting stories like that in today's edition of the Horizon newspaper. And of course, we are leaving Horizon newspaper this morning. Perhaps we should be getting the papers on our screens any moment from now. We are leaving the Horizon to go over to the Media newspaper. The Media newspaper says that Konye celebrates in pomp and style at the just ended 40th anniversary of the CPDM party. You can get into another interesting story like transcendence of a trusted beer ally, tricky task that awaits Nalova Lyunga in Fako Division. There was a grand homecoming in Fako Division over the weekend where Professor Nalova Lyunga has been promised that she has got plenty of mission, plenty of assignment to do in terms of ensuring that the CPD round loudest when the election bells shall begin ringing as from October. Another interesting story you can get 30 years imprisonment, while his wife to serve 10 years imprisonment. You can get to understand just about 23.8 billion francs that the former Minister of Defense, the former Minister of Transport, Mebengo, embezzled in Cameroon, and that he has been slammed 30 years imprisonment, while his wife is going to enjoy just 10 years imprisonment at the Konegi Maximum Prison. These stories and many more you can read in today's edition of the Media Newspaper. Let's leave the Media Newspaper this morning to go over to the Advocate. The Advocate newspaper this morning on our stand says that second edition of Open Doors, Sweda impresses public at homecoming event. Professor Naloba Lyunga tells FACO CPDM it's payback time. Like I announced that Professor Naloba Lyunga was received in an electrifying ceremony in FACO, precisely in Limbe, over the weekend to welcome her back after she was appointed as a member of the Central Committee of the ruling CPDM party. And she, in her address to the population and CPDM militants in FACO, insisted that it's payback time for the CPDM. So that therefore means CPDM militants in FACO have got to give 100% vote to the CPDM during the presidential election in October. Another interesting story you can read on today's edition of the Advocate newspaper: Young youth armed to create sustainable development opportunities in digital area. Youths from Jan Division have been fortified intellectually and technically on how to boost their economic empowerment in Cameroon despite the challenges. You can get another interesting story on today's edition of the Advocate. Revived Christian Church International celebrates 5 years of existence. These stories and many more, the Advocate newspaper is proposing to its readers this morning. We leave the Advocate to go down to Municipal Update Daily of Chambama Victor. The paper this morning captions on Douala, the Bamba Oriental Park project launched to boost tourism. This is an event that took place last week and it was chaired by the governor of the littoral region, Samuel Diboa. It's a project which of course is going to be located at Misole 2 in Dibaba. So the event, the construction work has been launched by Governor Diboa. Another story you can get into this edition: in FACO division, Minister Naloba Lyunga uses homecoming to market beer. This paper is still talking about the homecoming event organized in honor to Professor Naloba Lyunga, Cameroon's Minister of Secondary Education, who has just been appointed or injected into the Central Committee of the CPDM party. Another story you can get into this edition of the Municipal Update is Mbonge conciliation. Stakeholders discuss improving public service delivery. Public service delivery has been discussed in Bonge subdivision by the Southwest Public Conciliator on how they could better and collectively successfully deliver public service in that part of the Republic. In Far North region, Defense Minister delivers bias conform message to soldiers. This is the just ended visit of the Minister Delegate of the Presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Betty Asomo, to defense forces who were affected by a crisis, or I should say an attack by Boko Haram insurgency in that part of the country. We leave Municipal Update this morning to go down to Echo du Parlement, which of course it is a newspaper that talks about the activities of the National Assembly. The paper this morning is telling us that March 2025 session in progress, the National Assembly adopts 4 more bills, holds second oral question plenary sitting this week. So if you can get an interest, if you want to know 4 bills that have been adopted, to grab a copy of today's edition of Echo du Parlement. Now we leave Echo du Parlement to get down to the Sun newspaper. With the Sun newspaper this morning says that Bishop's profile of next president, who is in and who is out. Homecoming after double CPDM appointment, Professor Naloba Lyunga gets thumping reception. I register my deepest gratitude for the confidence and immense trust bestowed on my humble self to steer the political affairs of the CPDM in FACO division. It is a privilege which I accept with almost humility and solemn dedication, says Professor Naloba Lyunga. And of course, another story you can get on today's edition of the Sun newspaper is SDF demands justice for deceased victim of domestic violence. Another story, Kumba City Council and Southwest Opic praise for transformative infrastructure projects in 2024. These stories and many more you can get on today's edition as far as the Sun newspaper is concerned. And let's leave the Sun newspaper to go down to the last paper we have on our tablet this morning, which of course it is the Herald Tribune. The Herald Tribune says that in Southwest, independent conciliator scandalizes councils over 2024 performance. If you want to get to understand the recent outing of the Southwest Public Conciliator, Madame Otazim, as far as investment in that part of the country is concerned, as far as local development is concerned, then grab a copy to this edition of the paper The Herald Tribune. The Herald Tribune equally says new industrial zone project. Douala Port to pay 1.2 billion francs for land compensation. As far as the new industrial zone project is concerned, the Douala Port is willing and ready to pay 1.2 billion francs to those whose houses shall be demolished in that area. These stories and many more you can read in today's edition of the Herald Tribune. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those are the papers we could lay hands on this morning. We invite you to go to the stands, grab any of them that caught your attention, feed your indulgence, for if you are never informed, what happens? You are deformed. Let's have Sergio Polo featuring Sarah John to sing for us this beautiful music. I shall be back with Lady L in the building.
Nabongo mba ekukumba nabongo singi esikwatimba nde na nyipe nyila ni matukwende eyobo deseto idem atitingi ya mnyalunge na madango pondonge ya lunge lino uninge ya lunge na matanga mawami mitango na misosi na tena ule habona te yitima bude mosoto bebe makila bonde malondo mamikilela onige ya luge na matanga mawam bebongo bamangolo bepumele pasi ne pasi mihikanyo maupeo wasine dasi ambu awoyole amangolo wokoso nduna sombo mbana ibeni pundai na mapondo pondo nide nanadi na mapata pata ne ponde nanadi na benga isangi musono moye no puma puma ne be kongola no wenje pebe konu pepila ase mi denge ntike ase mi denge ngumi ase mi denge uja luge konde yibambage difiyo yombo Suwele sanje yese umba namba Unduna sumumba pelenge susumbu Namani ya mepondi nabana tebe Namani ya mepondi nabana tebe Nama bodu nene pondo wasa nyungulana Nama bodu nene pondo wasa piandie Mbana mbale nie abona iyo Nama bodu nene pondo wasa nyungulana Nama bodu nene pondo wasa piandie Tete Kongo mbasandine mama matanga Unjalunge ponde yembambange Unjalunge ponde yembambume Unjalunge ponde yembambume oburuba Unjalunge ponde yembambange Ndengu le mange ya miapi Nana biyo kata ne To, so Bata Wewenge Joko kolo la lata Wewenge Joko kolo la imalata sawe Amuna sawasa Sa ambaspe Sante Sa ambaspe Amuna sawasa Sa ambaspe Sanje Motete na miuti maswe Sanje Omo wasawa Sanje Oba kosi Oba kweji Oba nyangi Oba rombi Sanje Omo wasawa Sanje Momongo mase Oru wala mbera mbongo Sanje Omo wasawa Sanje la poko songo na dienyese Sanje Omo wasawa Sanje sanje ankanka ni mo sale sanje obo wasawai o Cameroun mo to tenela odoko mo to tenela ma o ngado mo ani to wewenge jokolo di kolometi sa amlogo sa kawo jongo sibane temo sekumenete bio jeje sanje na ndum sane pete bio mumbu jeje zako jebo kise oya dani sanje das yeah das brother das obi bindi das
Home morning. On home morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like reflection, health, discovery, talking points, press review, pigeon news, our guest of the day, sports, culture, and public opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the dawn of a new day with renewed energy. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On home morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like reflection, health, discovery, talking points, press review, pigeon news, our guest of the day, sports, culture, and public opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the dawn of a new day with renewed energy. Home morning. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful music there from Sanje featuring Sergio Puru. And of course, perhaps just joining us this morning, you are live on Home Morning, and it's always a pleasure of the letter. We know that our YouTube channel, Home TV Cameroon, share the link. We shall be delighted to know. You can equally drop a comment. We shall be delighted to know where you are writing us from within and beyond Cameroon. And of course, it's time for me to welcome Lady L in the building. Good morning, Lady L.
Good morning, Wana. Good morning, viewers of Home TV. Those who already had their breakfast, I hope you enjoy.
Hope the weekend was good.
It was good. All right. Even though it was a little bit stressful, but we thank our ancestors for help. It's good.
It's very important.
Yes,
all right. Today is April 7, and of course, we know yesterday we had April 6, where the failed coup d'etat in Cameroon occurred in 1984. Today in Rwanda, they are remembering the
2025 International Day of Reflection of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, which marks the 31st anniversary of the unspeakable, namely remembrance, justice, and prevention. The theme of this year is Together for a Future-Free Genocide. Okay, the Commission knows that each year ceremonies take place worldwide, in a particular in Rwanda, as significant moments of remembrance, reflection, and moments of collective education reaffirm the commitment to opposing denialism, tolerance, and hate speech. The Commission recommends to the government to strengthen the legislative and judicial frameworks and establish specialized judicial mechanisms to handle alleged cases of hate speech and reflected offenses in immediate hearing. Okay, away from that, we actually know that today is celebrated as the worldwide, that means WHO, which is known as World Health Organization. It was founded on April 7, 1948. That is, today is the 77th anniversary of the World Health Organization. Okay, this year 2025, this theme focuses on enhancing the health and survival of mothers and newborns with the goal of increasing awareness of avoiding maternal and infant deaths. The campaign will stress the significance of highly quality during pregnancy and postpartum care for both parents, that is mother and infant. Okay, before the theme of this year, we'll be having other themes, like in the year 2024, the theme was My Health, My Right. In the year 2023, we had a theme like Health for All. In 2022, our theme was Our Planet, Our Health. In 2021, Building a Fairer, Healthier, and World for Everyone. In the year 2020, the theme was Support Nurses and Midwives. And of course, in the year 2019, the theme was Universal Health. That was everyone, everywhere. I will not go ahead to be naming other things because actually today is the 77th anniversary. So you can just imagine so many things have been occurring. So aside that, I will not even talk much. So I want us to visit this video and see the origin of the World Health Organization.
The WHO, short for World Health Organization. But what does the name stand for, and what are the responsibilities of the agency? Well, the WHO is part of the United Nations, or the UN. It was created in April 1948 and is based in Geneva, Switzerland. Worldwide, there are 6 regional offices, more than 140 country offices, and about 200 cooperation and research centers. More than 7,000 people, including researchers, medical personnel, and professionals from all over the world, are working for the WHO. Decisions are made by short. As a UN agency, the WHO is partly financed by membership contributions. But donations by a variety of foundations are important as well. After World War II, sickness and disease were on the rise across the globe. So the member states of the UN to guarantee the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health for every human being. And so, ever since its creation, the WHO does just that. It coordinates the worldwide fight against infectious diseases, like AIDS, malaria, SARS, the flu, or COVID-19. One of its biggest successes was the global vaccination campaign against smallpox from 1967 to 1980. Thanks to this immense effort, the smallpox pathogen has since been completely eradicated. However, the more success they had at controlling infectious diseases, the more apparent it became that pathogens are not the only danger to human health. In 1988, obesity, smoking, and drinking were classified as major health risks. So the WHO is fighting infectious diseases, strengthening the healthcare systems of its members, and running vaccination campaigns. What is particularly interesting, despite its extensive reach, the WHO is hardly ever an executing institution. It merely defines norms and standards or consults governments in healthcare questions. Specific measures have to be initiated by the countries themselves. An exception to this rule is emergency relief in case of catastrophes. For example, following the last Ebola outbreaks, the Global Health Emergency Workforce was created in 2015 with the specific goal of being able to react even faster and more effective to outbreaks and humanitarian crises. And that is exactly why the WHO is so important. Because in today's globalized world, diseases and healthcare risks can only be taken on collectively.
So thank you. I hope people have learned some of the things, important things that actually come in order for us to know how the World Health Organization was originated. And of course, those who were born today, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Keep enjoying.
Thank you very much, Lady L. It was good getting to
Pour longtemps, tu as pensé abandonner. Quand la vie t'a donné le coup, comme Gano Francis. Ça fait mal quand tu es celui qui voit le dos de tout le monde. Et tu demandes Seigneur pourquoi. Mais faut
jamais désespérer. Car qui croira vraiment. Qui croira vraiment. Et la foi, qui croira vraiment. Qui croira vraiment. Pendant des années que la galère qui t'a localisé, dans ta villa de soustraction où tu entends seulement te diviser. Partout là, toujours les mêmes gens même toi. Et tu demandes Seigneur pourquoi. Mais faut jamais désespérer. Car qui croira vraiment. Qui croira vraiment. Et la foi, qui croira vraiment. Qui croira vraiment.
Home morning. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On Home Morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like reflection, health, discovery, talking points, press review, pigeon news, our guest of the day, sports, culture, and public opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the dawn of a new day with renewed energy. Home morning. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On Home Morning, we shall feed your indulgence, our guest of the day, sports, culture, and public opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the morning. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On Home Morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like reflection, health, discovery, talking points, press review, pigeon news, our guest of the day, sports, culture, and public opinion. Make it a date with us on the show as we usher you to the dawn of a new day with renewed energy. Home morning. It is your wake-up show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mondays to Fridays. On Home Morning, we shall feed your indulgence with regular slots like are doing for us, that who believes will definitely attain success. So we are welcoming our Pigeon newscaster this morning. I'm being told that there were plenty of events that happened in Bamenda, Boya. And even Douala. Good morning, Toriman.
Good morning, countryman, and special salute for all man where they looking for that side for hospital roundabout for Bamenda.
Even for Bamenda and Queen.
No ask me why they salute people, especially for that side for hospital roundabout.
Something they special.
Man salute people and for Bedwa. You know what it happen?
No, tell me.
They say they see goat on top high tension for Bedwa.
Goat?
I don't know what I wait till they happen. What I'm not, I don't know what till the past, but how good go climb say on top high tension, then will. For outside they foresee the one way in make Tory for inside. If we take campus for outside for St. Joseph Clinic for inside Aqua for Douala, yeah, plenty people them they will come out with it. Tonton enter for backside. Mona see how it if it pass for inside Aqua for Douala, yeah. A chapter for this century because he himself if you don't enter Sosongo. How the thing it take up it pass, we himself would don't forward hand them and we receive not for inside a chapter for that story way it takes time, it happen. More come for inside that one. We they wanna enter for inside a chapter for election. How contribute them? Did it takes time? Did they write their name for book for 2025 election? But they do it pass contribute and I say wait. Some people them they been at one way they work for with the recipe say as grammar man as freshman he could talk for insights this same chapter it make them plenty workers them they say they so themselves they no go work if this person or these people them they tell them for play with then come out with this recipe say how they think it take can pass what the
il a commencé à parler depuis, on veut prendre depuis travailler. Il a commencé à parler depuis. Sortez la récipiendaire, c'est pour la méthode camerounaise. Sortez la récipiendaire. Vous la pouvez pas récupérer quand on écrit en France. On n'écrit plus. Oui, voilà. Regardez tout le monde, c'est déjà la loi de mon chat. C'est
this same chapter, plenty people them they ask what did happen for inside chapter for this registration where according to Turin. Now the big question mark that way it takes time. It happened for inside this same story. We'll go down back with plenty of this story for some time. So for inside chapter for waiting the make story today for inside we on tutorials. What they gonna be on tutorials? What they gonna enter for inside Olembe for inside Douala side country here. We have some one there. He move picking. He drum for inside toilet. Now some countryman it don't enter for inside toilet. Say he want answer nature's call. Only for he want here. More continuous that's all for inside chapter for waiting they make story today for inside we on tutorials we take gonna enter for us side for Yokaduma and Yagua. Yes, we now for the way some countryman we here work now only for the chief and this boy they say this way the team now only big people them and when they take them they lock and put them for back out the next day the boy it come out they know the sabi how this boy it take use them.
Jamais, et jamais au grand jamais disparaître. Babouche.
On tape ça sur toi, on tape ça, on tape la babouche sur toi, mais par derrière, par le bas.
Donc on prend la babouche, on prend le derrière de la babouche, c'est que ça dit la partie qui pied. C'est quel genre de babouche qu'il faut prendre, ta babouche ou bien la babouche de n'importe qui? De n'importe qui, ça veut dire que ce qui piétine simplement la terre. Maintenant, la deuxième chose qu'on doit faire en dehors de la babouche, qu'est-ce qu'il faut encore faire pour qu'on anéantisse ta puissance et que tu n'inoptises plus les forces de défense ou de maintien de l'ordre lorsque tu sois. Allons-y rapidement, il y a encore quoi?
This one it happened after where the boy too it don't pass for Kitu red cap their own skin, it show their own phone and other money for insights in data where they take style they put today. Now for the way they go find some grimba man, make it come true for look inside this same chapter for Taweti. It happened to for some time. We wanna hear how the thing it take a pass for that side country. Milte wanna enter for inside my 17 for inside Boya. Wanna sabi say this so this boy there na serious fight that where it happen for inside my 17. Boy for neck my brother. What Jacob hey. Oh the boy. This one it takes time. It pass now for inside my 17 for inside Boya them. Where now this boy they where they call and say change them. Where they fight for inside we say for inside chapter for waiting they make story today for inside home TV their own story house.
Very important Tori man. One two way I pick up from there. Now that small guy way you know the thief. Yeah. That means you know the thief pass even rat. He get that means he get all kinds of spiritual powers.
He get all
as if thief disappear. You start first was again.
They catch go lock man.
Now it'll be a profession.
Yes, it for backside. They know say they from Gata, but
it's
not the one to need this year. They don't make us to people say they blame na near them. Say so sometimes the boy give small thing before he come out. Then after now the boy say no, they near them say no. The boy no go control for the disgrace so. Now the one did not they say so no. The boy so getting green away he use am. Now they go find some man wey get green man. He come last week and say no. This thing
any green bag get power.
He get power. He get man wey go come pass his skin and then he also now for the way they take hand, they put hand for this boy and the boy could answer question now. So sometimes no, we go bring all the story. We go leave a me pot for the body take am. He work. So he thief people to it.
Of course. He gets spirit of thief.
Yes. So anything we pass for corner, so tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Some people be gifted, He get talent.
No be talent.
When you're here, you are welcome to our channel where we share our child's journey with autism. You may be wondering what is.
In Cameroon's capital city Yaoundé are planning to go house to house to find neglected autistic children whose parents are keeping them out of school. The United 1,000 autistic people in Cameroon, many of them school-age kids, but says too many families keep them at home because of stigma and a lack of resource workers and parents.
So because he got admission here, and we thought that we could bring him here, so we could not bring him alone here. We had to bring the whole family who have to survive here, and so on and so forth, and to bring the other children here, of course. So that's the difficulty. The second difficulty is
The observers